Look closely at the tray on the left. Now check out the plate on the right. Both of these are school lunches served right now, and both are paid for with tax money. But here's the kicker. One of them fuels a multi-billion-dollar processed food machine, while the other is building a generation of super healthy kids. Welcome to the global cafeteria. Today, we're doing way more than just scrolling through food pics. We are going on a full-blown trip around the globe. We're hitting one country on every single continent to see what kids are actually eating. Well, except Antarctica, because let's be real, penguins aren't exactly studying for their SATs. And you've got to stay tuned because we're revealing which country on this list went full beast mode on sugar and actually banned ketchup from their schools. Buckle up, everyone, because this is Tastin' Curious. Our global journey kicks off exactly where the controversy is most heated, the United States of America. Now, think about this. We're talking about the wealthiest nation on the entire planet, yet paradoxically, it serves what many experts consider some of the absolute worst school lunches in the civilized world. You see, in the land of the free, the public school lunch isn't just about nutrition, it's a massive high-stakes business. The National School Lunch Program has the monumental task of feeding 30 million children every single day. But here's the reality. What ends up on that plastic tray is often a direct reflection of powerful industrial lobbying rather than actual modern nutritional science for kids. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear this. In the US, pizza literally counts as a vegetable. I'm not kidding you, and this is definitely not a bad joke. Since the 1980s, and even reaffirmed in recent years, the government officially classified the 2 tablespoons of tomato paste on a slice of pizza as a full serving of vegetables. Why? Just so schools could hit their nutritional targets in the cheapest, most industrial way possible. The average American school lunch is a masterclass in industrial efficiency. We're talking ultra-processed chicken nuggets, sometimes made from that infamous pink slime, frozen, salty tater tots, and milk-flavored with artificial chocolate and loaded with sugar. And that slice of pizza, it often looks and tastes more like recycled cardboard than actual food. In many districts, this food is mass-produced in giant factories thousands of miles away, frozen solid, shipped in massive trucks, and then simply reheated in the school's oven. It's high-sodium, high-preservative fuel designed to sit on a shelf for months, not necessarily to nourish the growing brains of the next generation. But there is even a darker, more heartbreaking side to these cafeterias. It's called lunch shaming. In several states across America, if a parent's account is just a few dollars short, some schools have a policy to literally snatch the hot meal right out of the child's hands in front of all their peers. They replace it with a cold, sad cheese sandwich, and in the most extreme cases, they actually stamp the child's hand with the phrase, "I need lunch money." As you can imagine, that is the ultimate green light for bullying. It's a tough reality to swallow, but is this the global standard, or does the rest of the world treat their students differently? Stop number 2, Europe. We're landing in France. Now, if school lunch in the US is just a 15-minute pit stop to gulp down calories, here in France, it's treated like a sacred 2-hour masterclass in fine dining. In a public school in France, lunchtime is taken just as seriously as math, science, or history. There is no such thing as a kids menu here. These kids are treated like adults in training. Check out this typical menu served in the cafeteria. It follows a strict 4-course structure. First, you get a fresh vegetable starter like shredded carrots or beet salad. Second, the main course, a high-quality protein like veal with mushrooms or fresh fish with steamed broccoli. Third, and this is wild, the cheese course. Yes, we're talking real camembert, brie, or even roquefort. And finally, a dessert, which is usually a seasonal fruit or a light handmade tart. The philosophy here is called palate education. They actually have a national week of taste in schools. They believe that if you provide kids with real gourmet food and explain exactly what they're eating, they will grow up to respect their health and their culture. And here's a detail that would absolutely shock any American student. There are 0 soda machines in the hallways. None. The only drink allowed on the table is fresh water, served in glass pitchers. In France, juices and sodas are viewed as liquid candy. They're treats, not something you drink with a meal. But wait a second, where is the ketchup for the potatoes? Hold that thought though, because the answer to that mystery is way more complicated complex than it seems. Now we're flying east all the way across the Pacific to Japan, and let me tell you, you can forget about noisy cafeteria lines or messy food fights. Here, school lunch is known as kyushoku, and it's governed by a powerful philosophy called shokuiku, which literally means food education. In Japanese public schools, there are no lunch ladies waiting to serve you. Instead, the students themselves take charge. Every week, a different group of kids puts on white aprons, hairnets, and masks to serve their own classmates. We're talking about elementary schoolers carrying heavy pots of hot food all the way from the kitchen to their classrooms. And it doesn't end when the meal is over. After eating, everyone says thanks in unison, and then they clean everything. The students sweep the floors, scrub the tables, and even wash and flatten their own milk cartons for recycling. In Japan, lunch is a core part of the curriculum designed to teach responsibility, teamwork, and a deep gratitude for the world's resources. But what about the food? Well, you won't find a single frozen nugget or a processed snack here. Every single menu is meticulously planned by certified nutritionists who actually work right there in the school. A typical tray includes a bowl of rice, which is a must, a hot miso soup, grilled fish or slow-cooked meat with fresh vegetables, and a classic glass bottle of milk. Everything is nutritionally calculated down to the very last millimeter to ensure every single child gets exactly what their body needs to grow. And here's the kicker. There are no choices like, I want a burger today. Everyone eats the same healthy meal together. This approach prioritizes the collective over the individual. If you don't like green peppers, well, you learn to eat those green peppers because all your friends are eating them too. It's all about unity and health over everything else. All right, everyone, grab your gear because we're heading down under to the land of kangaroos and sun-drenched beaches. Australia is bringing us a totally different kind of culture shock and a system that's honestly unique. If you were to walk into an average Australian public school expecting a massive American-style cafeteria or a disciplined Japanese dining hall, well, prepare to be disappointed. Most schools there simply don't have a cooked lunch program or even a room of plastic trays. The dominant culture in Aussie schools is the packed lunch. That's right, parents are 100% responsible for packing that thermal lunchbox every single morning. Inside, you'll usually find the classics: fruit, yogurt, crackers, and the legendary Vegemite sandwich. It's a salty, bitter spread that Australians absolutely adore, even if the rest of us are still trying to figure it out. And get this, kids don't sit at long tables. They sit sitting on the ground in the courtyard or on outdoor benches, all while following the strict no hat, no play rule to stay safe from that intense Australian sun. But it's not all home cooked. They have something called a tuck shop, basically a canteen where kids can buy snacks. And this is where it gets interesting. To fight obesity, the government stepped in with a traffic light system. Green foods, like fresh fruit and lean sandwiches, must dominate the menu. Amber foods, your occasional processed snacks, are strictly limited. And red foods, we're talking sweets, deep-fried treats, and sodas. These are restricted to just twice a school term, or even banned entirely. Crossing the Indian Ocean, we arrive in South Africa. Now pay attention because here the entire conversation shifts. We aren't talking about etiquette or flavor profiles anymore. We're talking about vital necessity. For millions of South African students, the National School Nutrition Program isn't just a convenience, it is the literal difference between getting an education and going hungry. For many of these kids, the meal served at school is the only hot, nutritious food they'll eat in an entire 24-hour period. We're not talking about luxury or gourmet variety here. This is pure, energetic sustenance. The star of the plate is almost always pop. This is a dense, energy-packed white corn porridge that keeps you full for hours. It's often served with amasi, which is a traditional sour milk, textured soy, or on the better days, a hearty vegetable stew with cabbage and pumpkin. And forget about giant corporate factories. The prep work is done by food handlers. These are local moms and grandmothers from the community who volunteer or receive a tiny stipend to cook in massive iron pots in the back of the school. It's community love in every bite. Think about this. While in the US, school food is often wasted and tossed into the trash by picky students, here in South Africa, that lunch is treated with absolute respect. It's the ultimate guarantee that a child will have the brain power to focus on their teacher instead of their growling stomach. Finally, we're heading back to the Americas, landing in the vibrant country of Brazil. And let me tell you, if you're one of those people who think developing nations automatically have bad food, prepare to have your mind absolutely blown. Brazil actually operates one of the single largest school feeding programs on the entire planet, known as the NPANE. We're talking about serving over 40 million meals every single day. But the real secret here? It's all in the law. Federal law, 30% of the government's budget for school lunch must be invested directly into buying from local family farmers. This doesn't just promote healthier habits, it literally pumps money back into the local community. Talk about a win-win. This creates what we call a virtuous cycle. The school buys its lettuce, its bananas, and its beans from the small farmer right down the road. This means that unlike the American industrial model of frozen and reheated, the average Brazilian public school plate is laser focused on real food. So, what's on the menu? The legendary rice and beans combo. It's served every single day, and honestly, I have no idea how they don't get tired of it. But it's the perfect protein base. Along with that, you'll find chicken, ground beef, or eggs, plus a fresh side salad. Now, of course, the system isn't perfect. There are still huge logistics and funding challenges in some regions, but the nutritional foundation, it's rock solid. And check this out. In cities like Niterói or across the south, things like soda and processed cream-filled cookies have been totally banned from schools by local laws. They aren't playing around when it comes to the next generation's health. Wow, what a ride! We've officially hit 6 continents. We've seen the massive industrial profits in the States, the gourmet French etiquette, Japan's incredible discipline, Australia's lunchbox culture, the life-saving necessity in South Africa, and that amazing farm-to-table freshness in Brazil. But we still have that one burning question from the very beginning. Who actually banned the ketchup? The answer was waiting for us at our second stop, France. Back in 2011, the French government issued strict guidelines severely limiting the use of ketchup and mayo in schools. Why? Because they are on a mission to preserve their traditional culinary culture. They believe that sugary, vinegary sauces literally mask the real flavor of the high-quality ingredients they work so hard to prepare. If you were shocked by the truth behind these school lunches, do me a huge favor. Smash that subscribe button right now. It really helps me bring you more eye-opening content just like this. Thank you so much for traveling across the globe with Taste and Curious. I'll see you in the next one.